By now, I know most of you know I trade both currencies and synthetics, right? So when you come to Africa and you mention any female forex trader who trades synthetics 98% with accuracy, then you should mention KiraForex. So I took a trade on volatility 25 today with my community members, where the first time we caught almost a 300 pips, wait for a pullback, and then caught the second move again with a 300 pips, which I plan to share with you guys. That is why we are here today. Now, if you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit on that subscribe button. Now, every year, what I try to do is to find a very simple way to analyze the chart. I don't like stressing, I don't like complicating things. If you watch my previous videos, you realize that I love talking about structure and key zones. Now, when it comes to structure, you should know that structure is the main thing when it comes to forex trading. So I combine structure with key zones to the lower time frame, look for an entry, and then I pull a trigger. So today I'm going to take you through a very simple strategy you can also use. All right, even though I'm not going to go into details, but I'll give you a heads up on what this strategy is all about. And also, if you stick to this channel, it will get to a point where you get the clue about all what I'm talking about now, which is the new strategy I am using this year. So without wasting much time, let's move straight to the screen. I started the analysis on the 4-hour time frame. Usually I start my analysis on the monthly time frame, looking for structure. Now when it comes to synthetics starts from daily, which is 24 hours, but right, so we have 24 hours, we have 8 hours, we have 4 hours to I think 1 minute. All right, so depending on the kind of trader you are. So I started from the 4-hour. Now on the 4-hour, what was I looking for? I was looking for the formation. Now whatever I'm going to explain here, don't get confused. I'm just taking you through how we've been able to cut these moves. All right, so in my subsequent videos, what I'll do is that I'll teach you how this strategy works, and this strategy can be used by already existing traders or beginners. It's a very simple strategy. Like I said, I always find a simple way to analyze the chart every year because I always want to grow. Now here I was looking for the formation. So this is the first point I looked at. This is the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, this is the 5th point. Now before I continue, let's concentrate on this point. Because synthetic doesn't have a playback, take your mind off this side, the move we cut. Take your mind off this side, and let's concentrate on this side to where this candle is. All right, let's concentrate on this side to where this candle. So this is my first point, second point, third point, fourth point, fifth point. Now this is the last resistance, this is the last support zone, and this is the last resistance zone that price has created before we had a breakout. So I drew my zone using the last support and the last resistance zone. Now after I drew the last support zone, you can see that it's falling on a very nice structure to the left side. You can see we have support resistance zones around this area, so you can see how it's falling on a very nice key zones. Now this is also the resistance zone on the last resistance zone before the move towards the outside. Like I said, don't get confused because I'm going to teach you how this thing works. All right, so I drew, and you can see the zone falling on very nice support resistance zones, all right, towards the left side. Now what did I do next? I brought out my triangle or square. Some people will say square, others will also say triangle. You can also use your rule to measure, or you can use any tool you think is used for measurement. Maybe your ruler, you can also use your ruler to do that. So I measured from here, you can see this way, and then picked it, use the same measurement from the last support and the last resistance zone. The zones I drew, I used the same measurement from, because I knew the formation and I know we are moving towards the upside, I used that same measurement to measure from the middle line, which is the resistance, to this point. So after I got the same measurement, I drew another resistance zone. Now you can see that this resistance zone, which I measured here, is falling on a very nice support and resistance. Now if I want to take my profit, this is where I'll be taking my profit. The only thing that can happen is that, let's say price will break out. Let me look for a tool here. Where can I find this tool? I'm looking for the part tool. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the only thing that can happen here is for price to break out, come back for a weak test, then we continue buying. Aside that, then we are going to have price coming down again, but because of the measurement I have used, you can see that it is falling exactly on what, on resistance or support 10 resistance zones. All right, so what did I do again? I waited for price to break out of this zone, the resistance zone that I do, the last resistance zone over here. I waited for price to break out. Now, in one of my videos, I taught how to trade a break of structures. I said that anytime price breaks out and the candle closes above, then we consider it as a breakout. All right, and when you look at this point, you can see that price broke out nicely from this point. Let me draw it for you to see. Price broke out nicely from this point with a candle body. So this is the candle that has closed above the resistance level or our previous resistance levels. Then what do we have again? We have a retest, which is the pullback. I always say the case. All right, so we have a pullback. Then I went to the lower time frame to look for an entry, which is the 1 hour. I look for an entry on the lower time frame and I pulled a trigger without fear. So we got almost above a 300 pips from here. Let's delete this thing. We got almost a 300 pip, which is this candle. You can see this candle right here, and you see that immediately the candle entered into the zone. We had a pullback, which is this retest again. Now, after the retest, I was just waiting to see what price will do. All right, so after the retest here, I went back to the lower time frame again to look for an entry. If price were to break below, I would have ignore this trade. All right, if price were to break and close with a candle body, I would have ignored this trade for some time because I wouldn't know what price want to do unless there is another confirmation against towards the downside or another thing happen where price have to push towards the upside again. But right after this candle close, which is the retest, you can see this candle did not close below. All right, and we didn't even have this candle coming below the resistance, the previous resistance level that I drew at this point. So what did I wait for again? I waited for another pullback. I waited for another confirmation, on the lower time frame, and I entered again. All these trades were given to my community members. We caught this trade twice today. All right, we caught another 300 pips back to this zone again, and we exited. The only thing that can happen here again is if price breaks out, come back for a case, then we can continue buying. But as it stands now, you can see we've started having a pullback. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame and see what is happening here. You can see we started having a pullback on the 1 hour time frame. So I'd have to wait again and see if I'm going to get any confirmation that will tell me price will continue moving towards the upside using a breakout and a retest strategy. So this is how simple the strategy works. I also gave a trade on gold. I also gave a trade on power JPY using the same strategy, and it's going really, really well. So this strategy is very, very simple. You don't need to stress yourself over anything. Like I said, this market is all about structure. If you're able to figure your structure out, you're able to find out your key zones, then you are good to go. Good on our side, synthetics, there is nothing like fundamentals or there is nothing like news. Synthetic works perfectly with structure. So if you know your structure and you find out where there will be a possible retest, then you are good to go. I hope you can see how simple the strategy is. Whether you are an already existing trader or a beginner, you can also trade with this strategy. Like I said, I'm going to teach you how this strategy works on my YouTube channel. So you need to be active and also pin the YouTube channel, my channel, let me put it like that. And this strategy can be used on any asset, whether you are trading synthetics, currency, features, or whatsoever. My assistant will say whether you are even trading oil, you can use it to trade. It's a very, very simple strategy I'll be sharing with you guys. Now, if you've not subscribed to this channel, hit on that subscribe button. Also leave a comment below and like as well if you are loving this video. I'll see you in the next video.